update here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, January 18th. What's been going on this week? Well, as you can see, there's not been a whole lot of change back here in the organization. I did go through one particular bin this week, and the reason for that was this guy right here. The reason for that was that I wanted this bin to put all my Project of Doom stuff in. I managed to condense all the stuff that was in that bin into this one bag, which is now like a super awesome Christmas ornament, and that's mainly what it is. Collection of sequins and the felt ornaments and the instructions and all that good stuff. And I guess I'll be donating it to Goodwill probably. I'll put it in another bag so it's all sealed up and label it for what it is, but that was kind of cool. There was one little treasure in there that I'm going to keep. It was by a company called Design Dye out of Coronado, California, and it's an experimental packet. So of course I was intrigued by that. What I can gather from the instructions is that this paper is used basically to transfer color onto fabrics. If I wanted to stencil something and I was just going to use one color and the color is in here, my thinking is that, so instead of cutting it out of freezer paper, I could just cut it out of this paper right here and just either draw it freehand on the back or trace it or whatever, and I could just iron it directly onto the t-shirt. So maybe, I'm thinking she used it for her designs for cross-stitch and for the sequins and things, so that would be my guess, was her plan. She used to buy a lot of things and then not use them, so she was one of those home shopping addicts. Anyway, so that was kind of fun, and this I'm keeping just because I thought it might be cool to try out. I won't be using the polyester fabric. I have felt it, and it is so gross. It reminds me of like everything I had to wear to church when I was, 4. Okay, so now I cleaned out that bin, and I'm using it for my Project of Doom. And I even threw a Ziploc bag to keep my little scraps from when I'm cutting the stuff for paper piecing. I have my little roller. I have all the fabrics that I've already used or think I might want to use in the project without having seen any more blocks. I have my postcard, which is from Hard Hat Cat, thank you, that I'm using. And I have my finished block 1, which of course the picture is already online, but here is that, and I'll insert a better picture, an actual photograph here. I'll be honest, I have had a sneak peek at the full project, and I really, really, really wanted to do it. So when I started doing the Project of Doom block 1, fabric was too small. The piece that I would select to sew on was too small. I had it backwards. I sewed, the very first thing I did was on the very first piece, which is like the simplest, it's like a rectangle with a smaller rectangle, sewing it together. And I sewed the main rectangle, the very first piece of fabric, to the pattern, even though I wasn't attaching another piece of fabric. I just sewed along the sewing lines. Basically, I sewed all the lines that I wasn't supposed to sew on the first piece. So that was not good. As I kept doing making the same mistakes over and over and over again and having to rip out the thread, and the pattern was falling apart, and I had to tape it back together, and I just was like, that's it, I'm done. So I decided I would come at it fresh Monday morning. So I came at it knowing that I was going to try to finish it, and had no problem. But anyway, it's like some little door opened in there, and it finally clicked. The other thing I've been working on this week, mainly this weekend, Jen did a 12-inch knitted or crocheted square swap. And I participated in that swap, but I only got, I think, maybe 4 squares made, maybe 6, I can't remember. Jen, with some scrap yarn that she had there, she made a bunch more blocks and stuck them in my birthday box so that I would have enough to finish. So I've been in between getting pissed off and giving up on the Project of Doom and then starting it up again, I have been crocheting those blocks together into strips of 4. So I just started adding borders of black around the edge of the ones that I needed to make bigger, and then crocheting them together in strips of 4. And I ended up with 17 blocks, I think, by the time I went through the box. And I'm already about, I think, a third of the way, if not halfway, through this Karen 1 pound that was brand new a week ago. But I will show those blocks. I haven't taken pictures of them, but I will show them here. So this is one that I just finished, or I'm in the process of adding a border to, and I will hold that up there. And then this is for the section of 4 that I'm doing right now. So here's that one, and here's that one, and here's 2. So this is part of the last group of 4. And then here's the next group of 4. Here's the next group of 4. And here's the next group of 4. And they're all different colors, and that's okay, because this is just going to be a blanket for maybe to have on the couch. And then here's the last group of 4, and I think this should make a pretty decent sized lap throw, or like something to pull over your feet when you're on the couch. If I decide that it's still not as big as I would like, I will just take some of my leftovers from projects over the past year and make me some granny squares to throw into a final row. Anyway, I'm left over with this guy here, which was just so striking on its own. I've decided that I like the way this looks so much, just with the red, black, and white, that I think I want to start saving my scraps of red, black, and white and using them to make some complementary different pattern squares, so that I can just do a whole throw that's nothing but the red, black, and white, just because it looks really, really cool. When I'm done with this, sewing all this together, then I will kind of gather that together and maybe see, you know, what partial skeins I have and stuff, and maybe do some squares for that. So that's my Swapghan. I'm not gifting it to anyone. It's for me. One more thing. My boss, he and his wife are expecting their first child in August. I believe he said it was August. So my mind already obviously started turning to baby blanket, layette, what did I want to do? This year was supposed to be my year of the quilt, and in addition to just attempting the project of doom, which I have, with what I've seen so far, with my lack of experience, that may take me longer than just this year at the rate I'm going. I'm determined to finish a quilt this year. Obviously, my mind is still open to knitting something, or crocheting something, or just doing layette and bibs and all that kind of stuff. I really want to do something special for him. So I'm really thinking either quilt or a really nice knitted or crocheted maybe blanket, hat, and booties or something like that, like a matching set. I don't know. My thoughts are, I'm going to ask you guys for your suggestions. Mention it in your comments, and I will take a look, put a link to it if you can, or at least a link to the book that it comes in. So again, if you have any suggestions, or you just want to tell me what your favorite pattern is, please let me know, and I will check it out. And I guess that's it for my Talk to Me Tuesday. I hope everybody has a great week. I'm very excited to see the Project of Doom block number 2 tomorrow. I will talk to you guys later. Everybody have a great week. I hope I can see you next week. I'm looking forward to watching your videos. Bye! Clearly I'm mental. I'll edit this out.